What's good, y'all? What's good? You know what time it is? It is time for Elevated Vibes on IntellectualRadio.com. Now, the lines are open 708-223-8953, or you can hit us up on Facebook Live. Everybody, you know who this is. This is your boy, Abdul Rashid. Now, the boss man is not here today, but on this panel right here is some people that I consider some of my blessings. And if y'all think about it, Allah allows us to be blessed with many things, from parents to even breathing. All right. So on this panel right here today, I got my nephews and my niece. Let y'all introduce yourselves.
Hey everybody, Jasmine here. So happy to have this conversation amongst family tonight.
Same, likewise, Vaughn, younger cousin or nephew, I'm sorry.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris.
Yes. Now today, what we're going to talk about, as they always say, what not to or what to talk about at the Thanksgiving table. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about the turkey day, y'all. We want it to be beautiful and peaceful. All right. Now, some of the things that they say that we should not speak on, and I want to get y'all comments and feelings and all that from it. All right. We can start this off by certain social issues. For example, if we were talking about you at the table and somebody started speaking about gun control. All right. So let me get some of your feelings on that. Should you avoid social issues or should you dig right at it? Let's start this off with you, Vaughn.
I mean, honestly, I think everything should be approached head on. I don't like to believe in a gray area. I think I'm acknowledge that it exists, but I feel like if you don't go ahead and address the problem, we act like it's not in the room. And I think that's the reason a lot of things happen in society right now consistently. Like just because if you're not having a conversation, just because you use the words, like if you say gun control, for example,
right?
Control can look like anything.
That's true.
It doesn't have to look
Absolutely.
like this or that. I mean, we can have more strategic conversations around everything, and I think that that's how you make improvements. That's the only thing is constant is change.
Let me hear your opinion on it, Chris.
I mean, it's a good topic, but in a way, it's not, because sometimes everybody got different views and opinions, and so sometimes you can offend a person without even trying to offend them, and then they go into a whole big another thing. So a lot of time, I just
want to
my
keep that
opinion
peace,
to myself.
like I said. Okay, all right. And of course, Miss Jasmine, I want to hear from you.
The baby of the bunch. I would say that gun control.
Well,
I
just
think
in general.
in
I'm
general
just
things.
saying as an example, social issues and all that. It don't have to
Social
be
issues.
that, but it's just one of the things that they say that we should not speak on at the dinner table amongst family. But go ahead.
I feel like it depends on the social issue. I think that some of them, it depends on who's in the space. So amongst family, are we just talking about the adults? There might be certain social issues that we'll discuss together. Are the children in the space? Because I think the way that we talk about particular social issues changes depending on the crowd. Is it just our immediate family in the space? Did we invite, friends for this Thanksgiving, etc.? So I think it depends on who is there. But I think with any conversation, there's opportunities to learn and grow from each other. So more so, I think what's the most important is how we communicate across difference. And so within a family, we'll all have different opinions on a particular topic. And so I think that if we can communicate well across difference in a manner which is respectful, and also in a manner which is inclusive, right? And where folks can think about in depth, like why we hold certain values and be willing to consider someone else's opinion. I think that's what's most important when we talk about social issues. And also, right, like I work in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so for me, I'm always thinking about like, when we talk about social issues, how are we including all folks, right, in our conversation? Because if we aren't doing that, to me, we aren't achieving any sort of like equity or justice. And so if it's hurtful to certain sections of our population, then I don't think it's something that we should be discussing openly. I think there's too many resources, books, Google, etc. So.
Okay, all right. Now we're gonna take some of them thoughts on a little bit lighter thing. Is another one that they were saying that relationship updates. You know how they would say, or the elders may have said, I don't know if this has happened to you guys yet. When you gonna have that baby, girl, or when you all gonna get married? Y'all been courting for some time now. So let's start this off with you once again, Jasmine.
Me first. Okay.
Jasmine.
Oh, I thought you said Jasmine.
No. Oh, I'm coming to you. Best believe it.
I think that asking generally about a relationship update is okay. I think that when we get into like, when are you going to have a child or things like that, like even though you're a family, you may not know everybody's personal situation. So even if it's possible for them to conceive. So I think general, like what's going on? Like we missed last year, we had Susie with us, like what's happening, right? So I think it's okay just to ask generally like what's going on. And then you let the other person who's responding, let them lead on how much they are willing to share.
All right. Wait a minute, because I know I'm gonna get to you, Vaughn. You best believe it, because I know you. I got to get yours, Chris. Come on, talk to me. Take a minute, bro. It's all right. It's all right.
I mean, it really. I'm with Jasmine. If you're used to seeing somebody, you know what I mean, you're gonna wonder if you don't ask in front of everybody else, you at least gonna put a person to the side and ask them, hey, what's going on? Why I don't see so and so?
All right. Now I know you've been waiting on this, bro.
I think
so. I'm about to give you the stage.
I think the best answer for that is be cognizant of, like what Jasmine said initially, like be aware of who you're around, because I feel like if you ask the right question in front of the wrong person, they may take it the wrong way. Like I could answer the question and say, me and Jasmine, obviously my cousin, me and Jasmine are dating, and I bring Jasmine home to my family. They say, hey, Vaughn, when are you going to have a kid? Like, why are you asking me that in front of Jasmine?
Right.
Why don't you pull me to the side? Let's have a conversation. Or when are you all going to get married? You don't know, we just went through yesterday. Talk to me, privately. I just feel like, because it could allow you to say something that is honest to you, but maybe the other person may take misleading, or you may be sending a mismessage to them. So I just feel like certain things, like I said, just keep it private.
I hear you. All right. Let's touch on this one, y'all. Now, you know somebody across the table, they may owe you $50. They've been dodging you for half the year for that $50. All right. Do you say something to them, or do you wait until everything is over? Chris, talk to me.
You know what? Back in the day, I used to think, I need to say something to you. It's my $50. No matter how little it is, it's my $50. I want it. But now I feel more like if $50 is all it took for me to get away from you, or for you to get away from me, that's cool. I'll pay that price.
Done deal. All right, Jazzy.
I think this is an opportunity to use humor, right? Because I would address it straight on, and I would be like, now you know you owe me $50. Like, what's up? So across the table, yeah. Like, but you can say it with
Granny's there.
Granny, that's fine.
Everybody else is there.
That's fine, because you can just say it with a little smile, a jokey joke, like, so that way it opens up the door for communication of like, I want my money, right? Well, but also like it's not a hostile environment. And so I would open it up with humor. If it's not received back with humor, I don't know, I guess that's the chance that I'm taking. But also, right, the lesson, I think that we've all heard the saying, like, if you can't afford to lend it, then just don't do it, right? And so it would also, once I open it up with humor, if it wasn't received well, then that's my lesson to take, right? Like, I got to take that L, but I would say something. It's family.
I know you itching over there, Vaughn.
Can I ask a question?
Come on with it.
So what if we change the amount from $50 to $1,500 or rent money? Because, like, being seriously, who's asking? Like, most of the time,
to keep it light. I mean, now you started talking about $1,500. That's
right,
a whole
but most of the times you're not giving somebody, just even if you're going out for a celebration, that's easily $50 to have 2 drinks and get into the venue, right? So what if it's a different amount, Jasmine? Like if it's $1,500, are you gonna ask me across the table? What's up with that slab and a half?
Well, see, that's a good question. If it's $1,500, I'm gonna pull you to the side, like, cause I'm gonna still use humor, but I'm gonna pull you to the side and be like, all right, because at $1,500 now, I don't want you to feel embarrassed, you know. So $50, I don't think that I would be embarrassing somebody, but like $1,500, now we teetering on that line, right? And folks' pride gets involved in that, so I'll pull to the side, but humor will still be used.
I'll come to your house.
With a smile or no?
Now, let me ask all y'all this just to touch on that. All right, let's just say the elder kind of already knew of the tension and the 1,500 and all that. And that elder say, let me pull y'all to the side and holler at you about it. Would y'all take offense if that elder got into it, or, you know, got into the situation to help you all? Or what? Your feelings? Let me any of y'all.
Honestly, I think that's just gonna be based upon which person you are. Because if you the lender, you ain't gonna be embarrassed at all. You wanna hear what's going on,
right? But
if you're the person that's borrowing the money, you may feel a little embarrassed. But it's like,
but not even embarrassed, but bothered if that elder stepped in there because they knew the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? And they want you at the table because they want to enjoy family, but they also want to help quell the situation before it gets crazy. Because, like you said, $50 is one thing. 1,500 is a whole nother world. So I'm stepping in that world with you. Come on.
So I feel like, yeah, you want to keep things private so that elder shouldn't even know. But in the case that they do, I would look at the bigger picture. I would think that it's something that you should look at the bigger picture on, because at the end of the day, we as much as we make money an important thing, it doesn't hold any value. You get what I'm saying? Like, your family is what you're going to have. Your family is who it is. And your friends are who it is. Those are the folks that you choose to be your family. So the money shouldn't be the issue. It should be, hey, why don't you? Because the thing is, you're making, and this is why I would be upset. I'm always the lender. If you're making enough money to do what you have to do on a daily basis, plus extra stuff, and you're able to hang out and turn up and have fun, then I feel like at this point it's becoming disrespectful.
Okay.
So, like, I want to know why you comfortable, because we've all heard this. It's that funky $20 when you need it back. But when you needed it, it was like, oh, I need this $20. Like, so I just feel like, hey, just have a respect of understanding that I do want my money back, and I made that clear in the beginning. Otherwise, just like, for me personally, just move away from me.
Okay.
Because I'm going to address it.
Now, I understand the addressing it, but like I said with that second question, but if that elder jumped into it, now I know you was like, hey, the elder should know, but then yet it's family. How many times certain things are said that you ain't supposed to know, but you know? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, sometimes some elders, I got to a point where they like, I ain't getting into it, I'm gonna let them handle it. But maybe that situation needs that clear head. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, I guess I didn't answer that. I will say this. I would think that, especially in today's society, both parties should be excited about that and be happy about that. Because if your grandmother's coming to approach you about something in that capacity, it must bother her. You feel me? If it bothers her, it should bother you. And as we see on social media, people killing their so-called friends, people are killing their parents, people are killing their loved ones. If it's that much tension that grandma pulled me to the side, regardless of whether I'm the borrower or the lendee, I feel like it's something that you need to understand that it needs to be addressed. Because one person is being owed money, they're bothered by it, grandma bothered by it, you just living carefree. Why is that okay for you?
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it. All right, let me hear from either one of y'all. I don't care who jumps on.
I agree. I think that if it's an elder, I think just out of respect, both folks should come and listen. We all play different roles in the family, right? Like, there might be the person who we go to as like a caregiver. There's the elders in the family who are the ones that are going to hold us accountable. And so when the folks who hold us accountable pull us to the table, I think it's just important to have that conversation. With $1,500 and money and borrowing, right? We can also, it might be like, now I feel disrespected because you didn't pay me back, right? And so having that third party there who has the best interest of both people in mind, I think is really important. So I say go for it, right?
All right, Big Chris, you got something to say on this one, bro?
On there, I wouldn't mind at all. You know what I'm saying? Because the older folks always got the most knowledge.
There you go.
And they come in
Always.
with good intentions too.
Right, without a doubt, without a doubt. Let me remind you guys the number to call in to join the conversation, 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. Or you can hit us up on Facebook Live. Now let's keep this going just for a little while longer before we take a quick musical break. All right. Past family drama. Something that, how can I say, something that may have happened, something goofy. It could have been, cousin such and such beat up cousin such and such because of whatever. And that was 25 years ago. But people hold a grudge. All right. Why? I don't know, but they do. Okay. So, but you're a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's 25 years ago.
If you get beat up, you don't really just forget that. I remember my fights.
All right. Would you guys try to avoid bringing that up if, let's just say, the other person say, hey, remember when you thought you spanked my butt 25 years ago? Or would you go ahead and jump into the conversation with them about it in front of everybody?
I just feel like who you can pull it with, right? So we know in our family, with our friends, like who's the hot-tempered person and who isn't. And so like if somebody said that to me because I'm pretty mild-tempered, it would just be like, okay, haha, you got jokes, right? Even if I got a little bit of attitude, it's not going to turn into anything that's super rah-rah. So I feel like you just have to be conscious who you can pull it with and who you can't. But if we were just saying in general, I would say things like that, leave it alone. Like this isn't the time for it, right? The holidays are a time to gather, to be joyous. So for us to bring up, 15 years ago when you got into a fight and got beat up, like the relevance, I'm confused. So
yeah, okay, all right. Come on, Chris, talk to me.
Actually, Jasmine summed it all up. I mean, that's really what it is. It's like, because you know who's gonna give you, the response that you're not looking for. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Like, because they didn't done it before, whether it was with you or somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, she killed me.
Yeah, I think also too with like different family members in the room, like we all have like I think that us loving each other, us caring about each other, also means that if I see like Chris coming to Vaughn and being like, remember that time I beat you up when we was little, and it's about to become like a big thing, like it can be that elder, it can be sometimes, right, the kids, right, to be like, okay, y'all, we ain't doing that right now, right? So I think that for us to love each other and to care about each other also means that if we hear it, like when you're in the airport, when you see something, say something, right? So this is your opportunity to say something and be like, y'all, we here to have a good time.
And it should be easier to say because you with family. Now, like you said, with the airport, that's different, even though you should step in there because you don't know where it could jump off to. Let's keep it real. But when it's family, it should be like, all right, wait, cuz, bruh, sis, whatever. Let's fix this. Let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? Bon, I'm giving you a chance, brother. Talk to me.
You were going to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say it's kind of like I used to blow up my toys when I was a kid.
What you talking about?
Yeah.
Not on the radio.
Form of torture.
Well, since you're going to talk about what he did, talk about when you let
this ain't the time, y'all. we
we
got company.
Okay. All right.
We'll talk about that off air.
You feel me? That's all that was, and remind people who they are. I feel like, as both of them have already said, it depends on who that person is. You know the response that you're going to get when having that conversation. But I feel like at the same time, if you are and I like to address the situation. If you are the person that was 25 years ago, the one maybe being bullied, if you was that person and you ain't in the capacity to be bullied anymore, I'm gonna say, hey, I'm not. This is not what it was 25 years ago. I think we should, chill out. But I'm gonna make it clear that this is not what it was 25 years ago.
Right.
I'm the younger one. I'm the smallest one of the three. So
I get it. All right. Look, we're gonna go to a quick musical break, but when we come back, we're gonna talk about if a dinner dish was terrible. That's right. So Elevated Vibes on IntellectualRadio.com. We'll be back. All right. We are back. This is Elevated Vibes Radio on IntellectualRadio.com, a iHeart radio station. Now, today we're talking about turkey talk. What you gonna talk about at the table? All right. What you should talk about, what you shouldn't talk about. All right. This is what I'm on. All right. So, everybody, if you're at the table, and let's say you ate some of that macaroni, and it tastes like cardboard.
Speaking it.
Spit it out.
Speaking it.
I'm just saying.
Speaking
I'm just saying. Now, it tastes like cardboard. Now, the thing that you should do, the thing that you should do, if you can, is not get that much more and bit and piece and, let it go away with the garbage. All right?
Right.
But unfortunately, some people sometimes ask, hey, who made the macaroni?
Right.
Y'all thoughts on those people who do that? Any one of you, talk to me.
My thoughts on the people that bring it into the attention.
Yes, sir.
Bro, why you didn't just say how you felt about the food? Like I like just either pull me to the side or handle me like you want to be handled. I feel like the same time the person that brought the bad dish, the food was not good, or somebody should have stopped you.
But they
have to taste that.
tried.
No, because some
No
people
way.
like their own cooking, and everybody in the house like they
But
cooking.
if you had to have somebody try that before you get it to the masses, or you end up in that the turkey tastes like wood situation. And I feel like the person that did that again, like because if you at the Thanksgiving dinner, nobody's that's not my people, my family, or my close friends are here, right?
Right.
So you're not just a random. So if you say something like that, that the food didn't taste good. Who made the food? Like, you don't have to make it enough. Like, who made the macaroni?
But you get that person who wants to be the loudest person in the room. Okay.
You didn't make it. Why does it matter?
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
You like it? No. Okay. Thank
Keep
you
it
for letting
moving.
us know.
They came hungry, wanting to eat. They seen the macaroni, like, ooh, that looked good, and then it wasn't. So now they had to talk about it, wanted to figure out so they know not to eat your food again.
Yeah.
True, but you still ain't have to make a scene of it.
Mhm.
That's my issue. Like, who made the macaroni?
Mhm.
No, you.
That's just
ask
how
the
they
person
are
you
in their
came
regular
with.
life, though.
If you're not family, if you're family, you know who made it. If you're not family, you ask the person you came with,
Right.
who made the macaroni?
Right.
We ain't eating at
Yeah.
her house.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Also, like, I think again with loving and caring each other, like that accountability piece is important. So it would be whoever is yelling, who made the macaroni? One, it's like, we don't do that here. Sit down and be quiet, right? Like, that's not how we move, and that's not what we do as a family. And so I would probably tell them, sit down and be quiet, right? Like, nobody is asking you what you made. You didn't spend money to make this food. Somebody made it with care. And I agree with Vaughn, right? Like, if you want, like, there's larger hills to die on, right? So, like, I'm not about to make a big scene and try to, like, make you feel embarrassed when you, like, maybe that was their best, right? And so, but if I want you to be better, then I might give you some tips, or maybe send a recipe to be like, hey, like, this was a really good try. And next time, maybe if we try adding a little bit of this or a little bit of that, then, it can be better for next time. But I think to yell something like that, your goal is to embarrass, and we don't do that.
Wait,
so
for that.
That's a good point.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly, and that's why I asked.
Who made
That's
the
why I
macaroni
asked that
out loud.
question, though, because
I'm still asking.
one of the main things that we do here at Elevated Vibes, but also that I try to bring the point across is that family has to build one another. And
Yeah,
by
that's true.
chopping somebody up like that,
You ain't showing me love.
right? You ain't showing me
You
love.
ain't showing me no respect.
You ain't showing me
You finna
the
get it.
confidence. You ain't
Right.
showing me where I can build more at that. I could be, have I'm just trying to guess a person, a Patty LaBelle macaroni, macaroni and cheese. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly why I asked that question, and you all answered it perfectly in my book. I just wanted to say that. Now, let's go on to another one, y'all. All right. Family does a thing of, going off on your own and gaining your own individuality. All right. Through that individuality, you may change your cultural identity somewhat. All right. And I'm saying as of You may do something like change your religious ideal. All right. Now they say you should not speak about that at the table at all. What do you all feel? Personally, I feel different, but what do you all feel?
I think that it's an opportunity to learn together, right? Like, so if you're Muslim, I'm Christian, Vaughn is Buddhist, and Chris is atheist, it's an opportunity for us to all come to the table and really like learn more about other religions and learn how to be more accepting, right? Because in the spaces that we're in outside of our family, it'll look similar. We'll walk into spaces where there are people of different faith backgrounds, and it's important for us to know like how to be respectful and how to navigate. And I think oftentimes once we learn about other religions, we find where there's more similarities than differences. We might call it by different names, but there's more similarities. So it's opportunities for us to connect and grow together on a spiritual level. And while I might say God and you say Allah, like we are still growing together in that way. And for folks who are agnostic or atheist, that's okay too, right? So I think it's just learning, it's growing. We are only ultimately responsible for ourselves. And so for me, the best decision was to be a Christian, but that doesn't have to be for everybody, right? So I think once folks, and we all, right, but I think the goal too, like for the younger folks in our family as they grow, we want them to be independent thinkers. We want them to like go out and explore. And so if something else was your calling, baby, go for it, right? Like that's your calling. You are the one who has to answer for your life decisions and to live the best life that you can, right? And so however, whatever path you take to me is okay. And we can learn and grow and be respectful.
Speak on it, Chris.
Man, I'm just taking it all in. Well, I don't mind anybody talking at the table or any place else for that matter about their religion or anything like that. I used to go to church a lot as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Living in Papa House, you had to go to church. Period. Every Sunday, that's where you was going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't go so much nowadays and everything. I do believe there is a God. I think he's the same God for everybody. It's just everybody worships him in a different way. If you know what I mean. And
agree with you. I'm just letting you flow. Go ahead, brother.
So so that's how I feel about that. I don't think anybody should have a problem with, how anybody believes in or praises God. Whatever name they call him by or whatnot. I just don't, just like they say Chinese, Mexican, black, we all people, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it should ever be any separation, but it is.
Agreed. Come on, Vaughn. Let me hear you.
I seen something on Instagram literally like 2 days ago, or maybe even on my way here. And it was Morgan Freeman on a stage talking to someone, and he was just saying there were different countries, different religions. Different countries, different religions and everything. And he was like, how do you think that, we can all be on the same page or something to that capacity? I think that's the answer to your question as well. Like at the end of the day, it's not about you can make it about religion, but I mean, each person, like Jasmine was saying, you'll have your own identity. Being an individual is a part of life. It's a part of growth. That's what everything looks like. And so keeping that in mind, it's like if I can't express to you what I found my love in and my belief in front of you, and you're my loved one, at the end of the day, like you have everybody, you have people in your family that you don't agree with their life decisions. It doesn't have to be religion. It could be someone may be having issues with substance abuse. Someone may be having issues with their identity crisis. Somebody could just be choosing the wrong partner that everybody thinks that they're dating the wrong person. I don't feel like if I can't express to you how I feel about something and you my family, then that's not love. You feel me? Because just like Jasmine said, this is a learning opportunity. You may have something that you disagree on, but at the same time, you're going to respect me enough to disagree on it and we have a conversation. When it get past that, it's like, bro, regardless of what we're talking about, it could be money, religion, politics, sexuality. It can be anything we talk about. But once you get outside your box and you don't treat me like you love me, then we got a whole different problem. It's not even about the topic of discussion anymore.
It's about the respect.
It's the respect and the love.
Yes.
I agree. And I think love allows you to be free, right? Love allows you to be open in who you are. And so to me, it's not love if there are those restrictions. So
There you go.
Exactly.
Agreed. All right. All right. All right. One of my last ones I'm gonna talk to y'all about, and I'm gonna let y'all go freehand now as much as you want. All right. Now we got a lot of political. All right. It stems from the guy I call on here, the orange cancer, to everybody else. All right. If you at the table and there's a stout right winger on the other side of the table, but that's your family. That's the person you grew up with. That's the person. I know y'all didn't play stick ball, but you went to go play stick ball with, or jump ramps or whatever.
Is that what baseball was before they called it baseball?
It's when you didn't have a bat, man. Okay.
Also, it was just a budget issue.
Yeah. But we're not gonna go there. But all right, that person is who they are. And of course, they're gonna bring up a lot of their ways. They shouldn't, but they will. All right. Now they're throwing it out there, the conversation. What are you gonna do? Any of you? Come on.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
It's been a long time since I went first. I noticed that. I feel like I was.
No, man.
I say in that situation, you, regardless of whether them being family or not, walk away from that conversation. Because if you are that headstrong on something that you're gonna fight it to the death, I feel like that's an easy explosion waiting to happen, because you're gonna defend your point, and then because I don't agree with your point, you're gonna insult me. 9 times out of 10, when somebody doesn't agree with you, they're gonna start to try to insult you, belittle you, disrespect you, or disrespect your view, or something to that capacity because y'all not agreeing. That's when it becomes an argument. I don't argue with anyone anymore. Like, I'm not arguing with you. We can disagree, but when it comes past that, you got it. Because I was saying something on Instagram where it was like, let me finish. When people think that you use your eyes to see, and you really don't. You use your mind to see. There's the eyes are the tools for the message, the delivery,
right.
But you use your mind to see. A person can tell you something and you know that it's not true. A person can tell you right now the sky is black. And if it were daytime outside in Chicago or most places in the country, in the world, if the sky is black, there's a huge problem.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because you have to understand, like, no, you're not, I'm not going that far with you.
All right. Now, just to jump in that. All right. Now, that person is trying to bait you in. Okay. They're doing their best. Now, that elder jumps in, tries to make some sense of it. All right. Tries to, if they're going to have the conversation, they're trying to make it down the middle road. Okay. Do you get mad at the elder? Because the elder's not picking sides.
I'm not getting mad at my grandma.
Okay.
I'm not getting mad at my grandma.
Bringing that in.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Right.
I'm not getting mad at my grandmother. I'm not mad at my grandpa. I wouldn't get mad at Papa. I wouldn't get mad at Dorothy. I never met her. I'm not getting mad at Betty or Samuel because me and you having a disagreement and they trying to find the fine line in the middle. I'm not doing it. Like, and for me, like I said, if it's that serious to you, you have it because your mind is already closed. So whatever I have to say, because your mind's already made up, it won't even matter. So why am I at that point? Is like, am I getting paid for this? Because if I'm not an attorney and I'm not getting at least the awareness built from having a great debate, if I'm not creating some type of audience from this, if I'm not going to get any spans on this, I'm not wasting my time arguing with you, because even though there are things that I can prove to be right to you, you're going to try to tear those down, or you're going to say that you don't agree with those because this, that, and the other. But I'm showing you this happened. Acknowledge that. If you can't even acknowledge any of the things that I'm pointing at, like, because if I'm acknowledging things like, yeah, that made sense. Well, there were more entrepreneurs at this time. What else? Student loans have been paused. Like, whatever you want to talk about, the political, whatever the side of the fence you want to play on, whatever spectrum you're speaking to.
Right.
If I can't get you to acknowledge that there is nobody's perfect, easier way to say that, if I can't get you to acknowledge that nobody's perfect or nothing is perfect, whether it be a politician, whether it be a policy, whether it be a person or the ocean, Nothing is perfect in life. So if you gonna go that gung ho, have it.
All right. Let me hear from you, Jasmine.
I don't think I would go along the lines of like which party we represent. I would more so be interested in talking about the issues. And I agree with Vaughn, right? Like nothing is perfect. So I would want to talk about which policy causes the least amount of harm, right? And I think if we start there, there's opportunity to dive into like discussion around why we support certain folks over others. I think it's good practice to have the conversation around civic engagement broadly as a family, right? Voting is one tool that we use to elect, public officials to be civically engaged. But we also know that all Black folks can't vote, right? And so, how do we stay civically engaged beyond that? So, I think it's a good opportunity to maybe broaden and have a high level conversation with the entire family, so that it becomes a culture of being civically engaged. That the young kids know like your voice is important. Here are ways in which you can share your opinion, share your voice, and be a part of the change yourself. So for me, I would just want to talk about the actual issues. Let's talk about what causes the least amount of harm. Let's talk about which policies help us get toward liberation, right? And so what is our quickest path to do that? We know that liberation will only come from us, by us, and the work that we do. But we can, again, think about politics and parties as possible tools to use and one piece of a toolkit. So I would just broaden it. And then if it got too crazy, it's a lot of things that I'm not willing to die on certain hills, and that's one of them. So
I hear you.
It's like, oh, okay, you right. I would be like, Vaughn, you got it. Like, it's yours. Like, who made the mac and cheese that's actually good, and I'm about to go eat again. Go see family. Family comes in town. I'm about to go hang out with the kids. Go talk to somebody I ain't seen in them. So like, but I think issues and then talking broadly around civic engagement is important.
All right, Chris, let me feel you, bro.
Well, so it's funny you asked because my sister just called me back when the election was just going on, when everybody was voting and everything. She's like, you need to go out and vote. It impacts everybody. Everything y'all was just saying. The thing for me is that I really don't know like who to vote for. Like I know they all say one thing and do something else. You know what I mean? And something that I kind of live by, which probably everybody else think otherwise, is I'd rather deal with the devil that I do than the one that I don't. So. But as far as the voting and everything, I ain't gonna lie to you. I haven't voted. The last time I voted was for Obama, and I don't even go out there and mess with it because I don't know. So, but I wouldn't mind talking about it. But I'm not gonna argue with nobody up and down about.
You just want to be more informed on what's out
right
on the political arena.
Yeah.
I definitely get it. Now,
and that's a good opportunity as a family. To learn.
It's a great opportunity to learn, but I think that's to create the middle piece of what, and I feel like I'm the happy medium between the two right now. I think to create that middle ground, and that's why you have to be more civically engaged, because a politician, a lot of times, they will show up for the most part. Sometimes you may see it as, oh, I don't even see this person. Who are you? Like you're coming because where I reside now, I'm not going to say that place, but where I reside now, I know an area where it's like folks in the community don't feel like, elected official is there until it's time to vote, or it's till it's time for their calls and they're trying to use this money to do this.
That's how it is most time.
You know what I'm saying? So, but when you're civically engaged, you get to have a little more of the voice of what's going on. It's like for and where I'm at, like we go to what is it? Not the Secretary of State.
We don't know.
Capitol. We go to the Capitol. My apologies. Listen, give me a break. I'm tired. Just get off the plane. I did. Okay. But we with a 2-year. My mic. Okay, my bad. Now I was trying to show the intellectual property on the side. I mean, so no, I think that if you're more civically engaged, I think that it gives you an opportunity to help you understand what's going on around you. It helps you to find and use your voice to articulate, because at the same time, you may feel like somebody's coming in with a solution to a problem, But if you're not saying what the problem is, and you just say, "Hey, it's not affecting me," or this, that, and the other, or I'm not directly seeing this, or I'm not in that tax bracket. So if you're not having the conversation, if you're not pushing the issue, who cares?
Yeah, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And my sister's right too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to put
Not
a
try
foot
do. You
forward.
gonna do. You
But
gonna do.
but no, hold on. I'm gonna get to his defense for a second because I do understand with the civic engagement. That's one thing that we definitely try to do on here. All right. But the thing is too, a lot of things that we come across in life, if you're not let's just say before I got civically engaged, okay, it was so much many other things that life will take you to that your attention keeps on all these other spots where we're not realizing that sometimes it's becoming from the civic official that's in that office that's putting that block up so you don't see that what's really going on. So I understand where he's coming from, where he's just like, I don't know half these people, I don't see them. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where he's coming from, and you're right.
I think
Yes.
I'm not understanding you. So you saying that
Okay.
the civic official is the person that's putting up, making,
Well,
they playing
I'll tell
both
you,
hands.
they do play both hands.
Okay.
All right. So yeah,
That's what I was trying to ask you
I was
indirectly,
just
but
about to explain it, but since you said it, I'm like, okay, well, there it is. you know. But now, as I said, because what I did, I gave you all um some of the general things that people constantly say on why you shouldn't say this at the table and so forth, just to get your feel, to get the people out there to understand that as a family, like I just said, the only way that a certain person can grow, you have to talk about different things. All right. And it's family. Who else can you talk to if you can't talk to family?
right.
You know? So I'm gonna let this little last part of this show be a free for all for you all if you wanna, throw anything in there.
How much time we got?
Not much. But
Okay, because I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about.
well, give me your top two, bro.
Um, I think it kind of goes speaking to the title, but my question is what I would address is like what we should be talking about at the Thanksgiving table.
Go ahead.
And I think we should talk about where we are as a people. I shouldn't take the State of the Union for us to figure out, hey, what's going on within our community. I think that some of the concerns that we've addressed today, like people not being able to articulate their dissatisfaction for or distaste for my macaroni and the way that they address the situation, or not knowing where they feel comfortable or not being comfortable voting and things of that capacity. Or one of the things that I'm not even gonna hold you, when we was on the way over here,
Yes, sir.
and casual passing, because I'm trying to get over to go get Chris so we can get up here, get to the radio, and I was like, Auntie Jennifer said, but did you call Richard? Richard is her brother, so she said, did you call Richard and let him? No, did you call Chris and let him know you was on the way or something like that? And I was like, I'm trying to go get him so we can get to Richard. And the first thing Jasmine said, Jasmine is the goody two of the three, right? And so Jasmine's like, "Oh, you too grown for me now." He said when he became Richard, and I had to text her. I was like, "I appreciate you for calling me on my mess. You feel me? I appreciate you for doing that." So like, I feel like one, and that's something that when I'm talking to y'all, I could be more respectful. I can acknowledge that for me talking to my elders, I could, but I honestly forget that some of the times because I'm like, I'm an adult, one, and not to be disrespectful, but I am an adult, one, and then two, it's like I'm talking to my family and I'm venting. It's not that unless I'm adding some comical spin to it, and I'm always trying to be funny to lighten the mood. I'm talking to my family and I'm venting. It's like it's hard because y'all know me. When I get upset, I'm upset. I'm not gonna play like I'm upset. I'm not gonna act like it's not happening, but I'm upset, right? And so that's why I say I did that. But I think that we need to, back to the topic of discussion, I think that we need to be calling each other on our stuff more often. And hey, and if we see a person in a bubble that I can help you out of, whether it's you too arrogant right now, you too full of yourself, or you like you're not, you being too hard on yourself, like life ain't all that bad, or because at the end of the day, people harm themselves, people kill themselves, people kill their loved ones. And a person that kills their loved one or kills themselves, something is wrong. And you never know. That asking a person, how are you doing today? Or like, are you okay? Are you having a bad day? Like I know I didn't try to vent to people sometimes and they didn't go as well as I like to, and I just shut down. Especially as black men, we do that. So a part of life, like I said, it's a lot of. I've used the word love a lot. I love a lot up here, respect a lot up here, and it's like be considerate. A lot of that, like it's not. We live. Life has been lived several times before I lived my life, and Jasmine got to her start. Right? Why are we making the same errors every day? Why is everything such a challenge? You know what I'm saying? Like those are things that I think we need to talk about. Like because nothing that's broken fixes itself.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Well, real quick to kind of halfway answer that. A lot of times, and you're right, we need to check each other to help out each other. But a lot of times what we end up doing, we follow the same path that we know could be possibly wrong, but we still follow that same path. And that's what we need to kind of stop doing. All right. Now we come towards the end of everything. Look, everybody, as I always say, and I love you three for coming. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
for inviting
Thank you for
us.
having
Thank
us.
you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, as I always say to end off the show, let's not try to be famous and strong amongst men. Let's try to be famous and great amongst those of a higher plane. This is Elevated Vibes. We will catch y'all next week. Peace.